Standing here with me is a pretty marvelous person and singer, Jerry Hadley, one of the rising stars in the opera world. And I think that you coming down here and volunteering your time, quite literally to raise your voice on 13's behalf, is a great example of the community spirit that 13 inspires.
Many of us in the performing arts help 13 because it's really a very important element of the quality of life here in the tri-state area. I personally have had the pleasure of performing on 13 in Madame Butterfly and Anna Bolena, and with Pavarotti in one of the specials here on 13. I might add that several artists who are used to seeing on the stage side of the footlights are part of the audience who are members of this station. So regardless of which side of the stage you may be used to, right now is when you are needed to perform for 13. One of the benefits of being a member of 13 is this magazine that you will receive every month, Dial. 13 doesn't have a budget that can take out huge ads and heavy promotion for its programs. But if you are a member of 13, you have this month's issue of Dial. You've already looked at the schedule and seen that still ahead after this gala are some must-see programs for lovers of classical music. This coming Friday night, great performances will present Cavalleria Rusticana. Placido Domingo stars in this version, filmed on location in Sicily and on stage at La Scala. That's Friday at 9 o'clock. Then on Friday the 28th, Leonard Bernstein will conduct Haydn's Mass in Time of War. And looking at this same month's schedule in Dial, you can plan to see on Live from the Met Wagner's Lohengrin. That's on Wednesday, March 26th at 8. Were you aware of all these shows this month on 13? You were? Then I'll bet you're already a member of 13. And I hope you are proud of how well spent your dollars are when you join 13. Now, if you're not a member, this gala and this final night is the night to call with your pledge.
Well, Jerry, here's how we're doing so far. We're looking for 3,000 calls during the gala. We haven't got quite that many yet. No, we have 130, but the phones have been busy. All our volunteers are all dressed up, and they look terrific, and they're waiting for your call. Remember, for a $50 pledge, that's our basic membership, you can get this marvelous album recorded by Beverly Sills, and for $150, I'm told, that you can get an autographed copy of Welcome to Vienna. For a $150 pledge, that's on the 212 number, and it's with credit card only. Now, each number that's up on this board, each number that's calling these phones is a person. And that pledge is helping you and enriching this community. We won't want to miss John Lindsay with our first great opera star and friend of 13, Patrice Munsel. So please, before we meet them, make your call as we show you some stunning scenes of Vienna, the site of tonight's gala. All the music you'll be hearing throughout the evening was inspired by this city of great music. This is a moment for you members of 13 to enjoy, but it's a moment for those of you who have not yet called and become members to use to make your pledge. Have your credit card with you when you call, and it will save you time. And if you can afford a $200 pledge, you can ask for a pair of tickets to Der Rosenkavalier at the Metropolitan Opera House on Saturday night, April 19th. You know, 3 of tonight's stars are in this production. James Levine conducts the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra, and Dame Gwyneth Jones and Kathleen Battle star. So, listen, I've got to tell you about something else that's exciting. All the stars that were in the gala tonight, gave me lots of information about this, all the stars who were in the gala tonight have signed a poster. The 19, it's right over there, the Gala of Stars 1986 poster. And if you can afford a $1,000 pledge, you can get this poster. It's autographed by, so many famous people. I hate to even read all the names here. There are only 11 posters, by the way, but a 12th is the prize in a sweepstakes for anyone who calls in and makes the pledge tonight. Now, that will be drawn. The drawing will be held later tonight, and the winner will be announced during Masterpiece Theater next Sunday night. So that's for a $1,000 pledge. This gala, and Jerry's name is going to be on there, and all the people who were in the gala. So it's kind of a nice thing to have. That's a thank you for celebrating this Vienna night that I think you'd all enjoy. So please make your call now and pledge whatever amount you can afford, and you'll be eligible for it.
During these intermissions, we will take in the sights of Vienna while we hear the sounds of its composers. It's also a good time to show your support for the station that is bringing you this marvelous musical event. Now, I know that you know that Vienna is a great city for music, but did you know also that it's a city of beautiful clocks?
By the way, that Anker clock you just saw ended the Haydn Clock Symphony on a perfect note. Now, at 12 noon, a dozen historical figures go round the clock, and the final one represents Haydn himself. There will be several looks at Vienna during the gala, but first, let's take a look at this goal board and see if you are represented on it.
Well, let's see. I don't see any individual names.
I
A
don't
lot of
either.
individual calls there. About 300. Well, we're a tenth of the way there.
All my friends from Connecticut.
All your friends from Connecticut
They all
have
called in right then.
What about the folks from, I know you have friends in New
That's
Jersey
right.
and New York. Let's
That's
get
right.
them calling in here. Remember, for a $50 pledge, you can get that Beverly Sills album, all the songs in Vienna. And for $150, you can get an autographed copy of that album. We'd like to encourage all of you who have been waiting to call. Now is the time to do it. This is the last night of this drive. We won't be here tomorrow. But the programs you appreciate and enjoy will be here, thanks to those who called in the past. Now, let's not let the other guy do our job. Everyone who watches 13 should get involved. This is a terrific station. You know that. I don't have to tell you that. Just think what it'd be like if we didn't exist. Well, there'd be no GALA of Stars, that's for sure. You know, some wonderful people endorse what 13 is doing, but the essential endorsement has to come from you. You're the viewer and the person that 13 intends to serve, so please, get your pledge in right now.
Please, please give your money. It's a worthy cause. All of the musicians, all of the people here are working very, very hard. We're giving up our time. We're giving up absolutely everything to be here tonight in order to make money for these people. Please, it is very, very worthy. Help us.
Whenever I'm in America singing at the Met or San Francisco, I always adore to watch these programs. And therefore, I do hope that you are going to be generous with your gifts for this wonderful program, just as I came tonight gladly giving my services. Please give generously.
With me is another star who hopes all of you will join in this community effort to make this drive an enormous success on its final night. Well, I think it's time for me to introduce you, Patrice.
Why don't
I wasn't
you?
quite sure. This is Patrice Munsel, and I can't tell you how thrilled that I am personally to see you here on this set.
Thanks.
And how nice it is of you to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad they asked me. I was just thrilled because it's something I believe in so strongly. It makes my life much richer, and I'm so glad to hear all the telephones ringing because obviously it enriches a lot of New Yorkers' lives.
Pat, you were the youngest soprano or singer in the history of the Met to ever be signed up by the Met. Isn't that not true?
Isn't that bizarre?
Before or since? How old were you?
I was 17. I still can't believe it. You know, I look back at it and it's
and you were
outrageous.
born American. You were born in Spokane, Washington.
Yes, Spokane, they would correct.
Spokane.
Spokane.
And now you're a New Yorker.
Yes, oh, all the way. I love this
And
city so much.
you're a beautiful whistler, too.
Oh, yes,
Bravo.
that's the way I
That's
started
for
out.
Jessica.
That's for Jessica. So that's what I wanted to be an artistic whistler before I wanted to be a singer.
You
Isn't that
became a
ridiculous?
coloratura soprano.
A coloratura. That's the kikariki stuff up on the top.
Way up high.
Way up high. Yes.
If you right now wanted to do an opera for public television, for this channel here, what would you select?
Lucia di Lammermoor, without any doubt. That was one of the most thrilling roles I think I ever sang in. And I would hope, well, I couldn't possibly have, but I had such a fabulous cast with Jan Pierce and Leonard Warren and glorious people.
Who would you have co-lead with you now? The same?
The same, if they were here. But it was so thrilling for me to know that Zinka Milanov is going to be here tonight, and Bidu Sayao, one of my favorite people in the world, and Licia Albanese, who is a great friend and a glorious singer.
Well,
We had such fun together at the Met.
and they're all coming in tonight, or some of them
Oh, yeah.
are. You know, I can't help but note that tonight someone far removed from any opera house is discovering a new art form, thanks to Pat Munsel and some others, and may indeed grow up to be a practitioner of it. It is this legacy that is one of the main reasons that Channel 13 and stations all across the country should gain great support from their viewers tonight. Thank you, Pat, for being with us tonight, and thank you for your contribution to 13 and to the world of music.
Thank you so much. I've loved being here.
Thank
Keep
you.
calling, everybody.
Good. Thank you for being a great New Yorker, too. Now let us look at all that deciding goal board over here to see how we're doing. Donna?
Well, let's look and see. Well, that's not too bad. You know why? Because we have 5 breaks during this gala. We need to make about 600 calls per break in order to make that 3,000. Now, even I can figure out that arithmetic, and we're doing pretty well. We're way over halfway there. So what we need is just about 200 more calls, and we'll be at our goal for this break. Now, that breaks it down, makes it a little easier, doesn't it? We've got 100 volunteers here. If each of them gets 2 more calls during this break, we've made our goal. Remember, for a basic $50 membership, we have this marvelous album of Viennese songs recorded by Beverly Sills. For $150, you can get an autographed copy of that album. And that's with a credit card call and to the 212 number. And remember our fabulous 1986 Gala of Stars poster with all the star signatures. That's for a $1,000 call. We only have 11 of these posters for that $1,000 pledge. The 12th poster is going to be up for grabs to anyone who calls and makes a pledge tonight. That's pretty nice. Here's Jerry.
And now here's a brief and beautiful moment for members and supporters before we go back to the gala. The music is Mozart's Jupiter Symphony, and the reason we're playing it is to give all of you who are not counted as of this final night a moment to be counted up here. Yes, your one call is that important. Call by call, we've come a long way in this drive, and now we need to add your strength and your pledge. Your 13 is going to end the night with a great success.
Somehow walking around Vienna with all the gorgeous palaces, the music of Mozart runs through your head and seems to be everywhere.
Be here for the next intermission when Licia Albanese will be our guest, and still to come to help 13 tonight in person are Jarmila Novotná and Bidu Sayao. But please remember, the big star tonight, and the only reason all these great opera stars are coming to this studio tonight is you. You, the viewer, who has not yet called particularly, quite literally decide the future of Channel 13. And I believe that you want this station to remain strong. And I hope you will make that feeling known with a pledge tonight. Thank you. Donna?
You know, he's really right. The most important people, the stars of this gala, are you, particularly those of you who have pledged in the past, because you've made this gala possible this evening. You know, when you pledge to 13, it's not just a matter of giving money to another good cause. It's a real investment. There are lots of good causes. There are lots of good reasons to give money. When you give money to 13, there are several good reasons. One, of course, it brings good programming into your home. But the other good reason is that it enriches a cultural institution within your community, which helps everyone. So when you give to 13, you really are helping the arts. You're helping the culture in your community. I think that's very important. We're all in this together. And the more of us that get involved, the better this station of yours will be. Remember, we have our numbers up on the screen. You can call those numbers now and make a pledge and have that credit card number handy. It'll be instant programming cash for your station. That 212 number is 212-985-9913. And the toll-free number is 1-800-544-1300. Thank you to those of you who've called. I know lots of you have been here all the time during this pledge period. You've been with us for all these days. You've been very patient. We want to thank all of you who've already pledged. For those of you who've been watching and enjoying the programming and haven't pledged yet, your time to shine. You're the star.
Welcome back to the Vienna State Opera and the Gala of Stars. Once again, our host, Beverly Sills, General Director of the New York City Opera.
We were in such a hurry to get to our box that I didn't get a chance to show you this gorgeous lobby. With its grand staircase, this is all that remains of the original Vienna State Opera, which was built in 1869. An air raid in World War II did severe damage to the building. However, it was one of the first priorities in the rebuilding of the war damage. Vienna thinks an awful lot of music. So in 1955, this great opera house opened again. And what you're looking at now is a wedding of old Vienna with the new brilliant white and gold that we know so well today. As part of the Gala of Stars, PBS has invited as their special guests some of the world's most famous singers, singers who have very close ties with the Vienna State Opera. So I am really so delighted and pleased to be able to present you a lady who is a legend in the operatic world and has gone on to make a great career in the theater and television. My very great friend, Ljuba Welitsch. I'm so glad to see you, Ljuba, and I think you've got the fountain of youth here.
Thank you, Beverly. Thank you that I see you again, because you're a wonderful American girl, really. You do so much for the art in America.
And what you have done, really.
But I hope my people understand my English. My English is little Bulgarian, little Viennese, and little American.
Your English is better than my Bulgarian, I assure you. Do you know that I was present in the United States at the Metropolitan Opera for your Salome debut?
Oh.
And I don't ever remember seeing an audience get that excited.
Well, it was fantastic evening, that's true. Mr. Johnson called me, Madame Welitsch, you have to be punctual at 10 o'clock on the stage. We wait. I went on the stage, nobody on the stage, no chorus, no statistician, no director, no conductor, nothing. Dufresne came 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. I said, Mr. Dufresne, where are the people? Oh, well, he ran to find the people. Come on, she's dangerous, Bulgarian girl.
You see, prima donnas are not supposed to behave normally and nicely. Who was your conductor that night?
Rainer, Mr. Rainer. Great.
You know, while I was watching you, and I was in the 5th row because my singing teacher gave me her tickets that night. She had gotten ill and called me and said, there's a very special debut tonight, you should go. So I went.
Fantastic.
And Rainer conducted with these teeny motions, and I thought, how can she see what he wants?
Well, listen, I did Salome with many conductors, 20 maybe, Knappersbusch and Böhm and Karajan, I don't know. So I didn't saw to the conductor anymore. I knew that everything, you know, the tone, orchestra. So it was for me not so difficult.
Let's face it, he had to pay attention to what you were doing, is what you're saying.
That's right.
So much for the little
Well,
moment.
the people say America forgets so soon, but it's really not. When I came, really, the Duchess, they loved me so much. After 20 years, they haven't forgotten. It's so wonderful.
You will never be forgotten. Ljuba, I wish we could go on talking forever.